Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Paranormal Biker. I just wanted to go over my fish tanks, how I have the community set up, and yeah, populate the comment section down here. And if you see anything that's out of place or possibly wrong, let me know. If y'all have seen any of my other fish videos, you know that I haven't been in this hobby for very long. So anyway, let's get it started. All right. So right here's my 55. Let you get a good look at that butte. So the species that I have that's currently inhabiting this tank would be, and I don't know the scientific names to anything, so we'll just start from the top. So you can see I have some angelfish in there, and so you can see I have some angelfish in there. And along with the angelfish, I have grammies. And I have a pearl grammie, and I have a 3-spotted grammie. They're fairly good size. I'm not quite sure if they're fully grown out or not, but there's my veil. Showing them colors. Ooh, nipping. I have some albino cory cats in here. I have I have a couple of autocyclists in here. I have some nearite snails in here. I have some I have a couple of hill stream loaches in here, male and a female. I have 6 collie loaches in here. Right there's one of my loaches. And yeah, here's the bit. Oh yeah, and I have some glass catfish in here as well. I have 5 of them, and they're the ghost glass catfish, the ones that stay higher up in the water column. But I have 5 red claw crabs. And I've had them in here forever, and they do great. They're more of a saltwater or brine crustacean, and your stores sell them as a freshwater crab, which they're not. But obviously they can live in freshwater. I've had these guys forever, and I'll show you. They all seem to molt at the same time. That's a molt. I keep them all just so I can kind of keep up with them. And something that I've noticed is they do regenerate lost limbs. I did not know that. I knew mud bugs or crawdads or crawfish. And let me give you a good cross section of my aquarium. I'm running 2 canister filters and 3 sponge filters. All right. And something else on that 55. This is my 10 gallon, but on that 55 I also have about 10 neon tetra. Well, not all neons. There's a few cardinals that are mixed in there that I guess the pet store messed up. But this one right here I have, and something else in that 55, I have a vampire crab that moved off somewhere. But there is vampire shrimp in there, excuse me. So this one right here, I have 2 guppies, 2 cobra guppies. One's a male, one's a female, and just a handful of tetra. And a couple of autocyclists. And I have a pom-pom freshwater crab in here, and I have some micro spider crabs in here. That's why I have so much sponge piled off in the corner, and some ghost shrimp. And they all work together, to keep the habitat clean. I do have a little bit of algae buildup, You know, nothing wrong with a little algae buildup as long as it doesn't get out of control. It gives the autocyclist something to munch on, you know, in between feedings. And of course, most of the plants in this aquarium are pothos on top and inside the water column. And I've done a video on the substrate and basically the whole entire makeup and how I set it up, and I gave some pricing on cost. You know, besides the glass that I purchased for this tank, you know, tank may have cost me only 20 bucks. And here's my 20-gallon betta tank. It's also a planted pothos tank with some other fully aquatic plants. There's my male. They definitely have a mind of their own. Now what I mean by mind of their own, they have a lot of personality. Out of all the fish that I've been keeping, I think the bettas have the most personality. But I'm sure there's other fish out there that have tons of personality too. I just haven't kept them. So in this tank I have one male and two females, and then I have one albino Cory. And I'm guessing, you know, he or she is probably happier than all get out, because for the most part of the day they just run back and forth on that glass chasing their reflection. I have some ghost shrimp in this tank, some nearite snails, a couple of autocyclists, because they do. I have autocyclists in all my tanks because they're great with brown algae. You can see there's a female in the back, female betta, and the other one right there is the other one. All right. This is my 5-gallon portrait tank. And currently we have a dwarf blood grommy. His blood grommy was pretty bad when I separated him out from the main community tank. He seemed to not be able to swim, you know, vertically. He had more of a horizontal swim, and you could see, you know, he's using his feelers to kind of stand him up. I'm guessing with his handicap, that's pretty much how he's learned to stay upright, and I'm kind of glad, you know, that he's kind of figured out a way to make this work. You know, that shows that fish really aren't all that stupid. Not that I would call them stupid. So I have a lot of nearite eggs attached to everything in this tank that I have to get in there and clean out. But you know, just a little background on him. It's been probably a month, more than a month. I've been trying to diagnose and treat whatever's wrong with him. I thought he had, I thought maybe the food. I was feeding him some food and he was, you know, getting air in his system, which was causing the imbalance, but that wasn't it. After I'd give him, you know, multiple Epsom salt baths, and then I just switched to aquarium salt and gave him the full strength of the aquarium salt for 2 weeks, and followed the instructions down to a T, and I didn't clean it up. So just eventually I just did a 100% water change, and you know, just change out this water once a week. You know, pretty much every Saturday morning, you know, he gets a 50% water change, and yeah, he just pretty much flatlined with his whatever disability he has. I don't think it's a disease. as far as, you know, some kind of parasite. You know, I think what we're dealing with is possibly some kind of genetic issue, you know, with this dwarf Brahmi. But, you know, as far as the listing, he's, you know, about as healthy as I guess a fish can be. You know, chases his reflection. He eats. You know, he swims up and down the tank. So I'm gonna keep him separated so he doesn't get out competed in the community tank. I figured, you know, he at least deserves that much. And we'll just kind of see where it goes. You know, I was thinking about putting him over in the betta community tank, but I haven't been able to dig much up on the compatibility between these fish, and sure hate, you know, for them to scrap it out and then you know, his condition turns worse than what it really is. And he's not in pain and he's not suffering. You know, definitely tell that. I mean, he seems to be pretty happy, just, you know, just his little minor disability. But, you know, if you don't mind on this fish, you know, give me some comments down in the comment section and tell me what you think. You know, I mean, you just heard my case, you know, what I've seen and what I've dealt with. And some of these white spots on this tank, you know, aren't all nearite eggs. Some of them are some kind of small parasite that moves around, but none of them attach to the fish, and the research that I've done on them shows that they're not all that harmful. But once again, I don't know, you know, how much that you could believe in Dr. Google on diagnosing symptoms with fish and fish tanks. And I seem to recall mom and pop shops and big box stores, you know, talking to them about it, and they just kind of shrug it off because they're not entirely sure of what the hell it is. Either, or maybe they do, they just don't want to say what it is. So anyway, moving on. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring it back to the 55. I think it makes a great background. If you want to know anything, you know, about my crustaceans, just ask questions. That's kind of, I'm not gonna say it's a sensitive subject in the hobby world, but you know, not too many fish stores where I live, you know, even deal with crustaceans, whether it's salt or freshwater. And no, a lot of the hobby shops around here just, you know, they'll blatantly tell you that they don't carry that kind of stuff because it's too complicated. The freshwater, or not the freshwater, but the red claw crabs that I have in here, which I guess could be some kind of, that's not a fiddler crab, but they definitely, you know, advertise them with the fiddler crab tags at these big box stores. But they've done just good, you know, just great in this tank. And, you know, I didn't even think about showing y'all this, but, you know, I have this piece of driftwood, and, you know, they'll scurry up the backside of this driftwood and they'll go right up to this platform. And, you know, on top side, they have a nice little rock that they could crawl out on that's on top of the platform, that's kind of helping the buoyancy, you know, keeping it level. And they get a pretty good diet mix of cucumbers, carrots, and broccoli, and, you know, algae wafers. You know, I have sinking pellets that I'll throw up there for them. They just grub out on it all. But so I'm going to show you all how I feed these fish, and then I'll get back with you. One cube of plankton, 1 cube of bloodworms, 1 cube of the mysis shrimp. All right, guys. Well, let me know what you think. Please leave some comments. And, you know, if you like my videos, or you find my videos useful, or you just like watching other people's stuff, you know, please subscribe and hit that bell icon. So next time I come out with one of these awesome videos, you know, you can be notified. Anyway, I appreciate it, YouTube.